What's up, guys? Welcome back to The Art of Violence. So, Michael Chandler has recently come out and said, I am no longer fighting Conor. I'm sick of waiting for this dude. He doesn't show up. He's on drugs. He's partying. He's all over the place. He's unreliable. I am going to be fighting Charles Oliveira. That's what he says. He's going to be fighting Charles Oliveira. Now, I don't really care who he's fighting. I'm just glad he's moving on from Conor. I'm glad he's moving on from Conor. The amount of fights we could have had if people just stopped waiting for Conor, it's just like the amount of money it's probably cost the UFC more money and people waiting for Conor and fights not happening because of Conor than it has done them good or than it would do them if Conor actually fought. It's probably cost them more money waiting for Conor versus the money they would make if Conor fought. So this is music to my ears. I'm glad that, I think it was like a week, maybe 2 weeks ago. I know I'm a little bit late, but even now, just thinking about it makes me happy. So I'm glad that Chandler's come to his senses. Even though I'm not the biggest fan of Chandler, I think he's a dum-dum and not the smartest guy. He seems kind of weird. And I've heard from other people from other places that he is weird too. Or just kind of fake. He does seem like that a bit, but yeah, I'm glad he's moving forward. And you can tell the UFC and everyone else is really, again, with Ilya just saying that he would not fight Conor if he was offered the fight. He would move on to bigger and better fights. You can tell the UFC is moving on from Conor McGregor. And that's good. That's good. Again, the amount of fights that could have happened or the amount of money the UFC could have made from having all these other fights take place versus waiting for Conor probably would have made more money just not even worrying about Conor. So, yeah, and I think this is a good idea. I really do. I think this is a great idea. Beating Conor doesn't really get him anywhere. It's just a money fight. Like he's already been knocked out. He's already been, he's already lost a lot of his fame and virality. He's already made a ton of bad decisions. It doesn't have the same, even if Chandler knocked him out in the first round, maybe if he got like a first round TKO, like in the first minute, maybe that would do a lot for him. But other than that, it's not really going to do that much for him to win. It just doesn't do a lot. The dude's never going to be champ. Everyone knows he's fallen off. He's embarrassing himself socially and publicly, left and right. It doesn't do a lot for him. So he's made a good decision in deciding not to wait anymore. Personally, I think he should have done it sooner. Probably could have fought 3-4 times in the amount of time he's waited for Conor. Yeah. Good for him. And this is the mentality, people need to start adapting and taking. Is if a guy's being weird or he's getting injured or he's holding out for something, he's making excuses, just fight someone else. If you're really the best, you'll beat everyone anyway. So what does it matter? And it's an extra payday. You're going to have to fight someone eventually. It's like when guys wait out for titles. I get why, and I understand it is life-changing in a big way, but the guy that you avoid because you're holding out for a title, you're going to have to fight him anyway. So why not beat the other couple guys beforehand, if necessary, and then go smoke the champ if you're the best, and now you're the champ, and you've already ran through the division. But people get so caught up in this, I'm just going to wait out for a title shot. People get caught out waiting for years sometimes. There's no point. Just move on. And focus on fighting, staying active. That's what the UFC needs. That's like the biggest thing. That's the biggest problem they have in boxing right now. Is there's no deal that can get done. Everything takes forever, and we don't need that in the UFC. So I'm glad that things are moving on from the guy who delays everything and is just a moron at this point, Conor McGregor, and people are moving on to greener pastures and bigger and better things. So I think this is what the UFC needs. And as far as Chandler fighting Oliveira, I don't know, man. I don't know. He did actually come kind of close to finishing him in the first fight. If Oliveira has improved his defense, can come in with a better defense in the slightest that he has in past fights, which I believe he has improved his defense. I believe he moves his head a little bit more, utilizes his footwork more to get in and out of range. I think he'll beat Chandler with probably relative ease. Maybe even finish him again. If not, if he comes in like he did the first fight even though he knocked him out, sitting there waiting for something to happen, waiting for the right moment, but not prioritizing his defense, not moving his head and his feet, setting up traps, moving backwards, feinting, just sitting there in the pocket, trying to exchange. If he does that, Chandler could put him away. Chandler could definitely put him away. However, if he shows up intelligent, if he shows up the improved fighter that I think he'll show up as, I think he beats Chandler. I think he TKOs him again. So I think this will be good for Oliveira's career too, if he can TKO Chandler, because it shows that the first fight wasn't a fluke. Because he almost got finished, very close to being finished, and then he finished Chandler. But a lot of people are like, I was like really close, a little too close. So if he can come back and just smoke Chandler, that'll be phenomenal for his legacy, and promising for his title return fight. So it will be very interesting to see how it plays out. Very interesting. Let me know in the comments below what you guys think. Do you think that Chandler will compete against Oliveira and win? How will he win? How will it play out? Has he improved at all? We've seen what Chandler does in fights when things get exciting or in key moments. He basically has no self-control and loses all of his cool and adherence to a game plan and just goes crazy. Oftentimes gets himself knocked out or in trouble, like he did in the first Oliveira fight. Or will he come in improved? Will Oliveira come in with an improved defense, which should procure a win for him? Or will he come in with his head wide up, ready to be taken out and avenged by Michael Chandler? I don't know. I think Oliveira's got it. I think it's Oliveira's fight to win. I think if he just shows up correctly, he's got it.
I landed one punch
once,
and he hit me with a door. Other than that, it was absolutely perfect.
That's true.
An amazing stunt team, Gareth Warden and Steve Brown, and they were phenomenal with us. They gave us free reign, and we've done a good job.
After the Cejudo Sterling fight, and you said, I don't try to see it because I'm already.
I'll fight Canelo, no f***ing problem, yeah? Out straight, no problem.
You and Crutch.
What?
You and Carl Crutch.
Ah, you like that.